Yeah. Straight up. Let's go. Welcome to Straight Up TJ. Tap in, sit back, press replay. But locked in with the Saints on a weekday. Now we talk every sport, every big play. Years on the grind, now we level up the view. From the dome to the world, get a better look at you. No script, just truth when we break it down. Barbershop talk, but we broadcast it loud. Welcome to Straight Up TJ. Straight up. Fresh takes every time a beat play. This ain't your everyday sports cliche. We talk real talk now, what the streets say. Welcome to Straight Up TJ. New wave every week, let it replay. From the Saints to the whole game each day. You tapped in with the truth. Straight Up TJ. Real time talk, yeah, you know that
Ladies
it's
and
live from the
gentlemen,
draft
make
to
your
the
way on
deals. All the
in.
stars really
Got
thrive
some
from the
things we
court
need
to
to
the field to
discuss
the big
right here on the State of the
stage.
Saints
We gon'
podcast.
cover every angle like a back
Make sure you hit that
page.
like
No
and
cap,
subscribe
no
button.
spin, just a clear take.
Now let's
If
talk
it's
about
weak,
the
we gon'
Saints.
say it, let the fear break. From the
Wanna hear
city to
from you.
believe when the odds stack. TJ got the whole sports world in the Welcome to Straight Up
Shouts out to everybody in the
TJ. Straight
chat
up,
right
fresh
now.
takes every time
Shouts
a
out to
beat
everybody
play.
listening
This
around
ain't
the
your
country,
everyday
around the
sports
world.
cliche. We talk real talk now, what the
everybody
streets say. Welcome to Straight Up TJ. New wave every week, let it replay. From the Saints to the whole game each day. You tapped in with the truth. Straight Up TJ. TJ Jones, turn it up, let it ride. Straight Up TJ. We on your side. New chapter, same grind, same name. Hit play, pull up, join the gang.
Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you so much for checking out another edition of the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. Shouts out to everybody. We're actually doing this show live. I'm doing this live. Just want to let everybody know. I know sometimes when I do recording, some people don't know the difference, but we are live right now, and I really do appreciate your time. We're going a little bit later than I anticipated. Had some things I needed to do this afternoon and this evening, but thank you all for being here. On this episode, I want to hear from you. I'm honestly doing this episode because the energy of the Who Dat Nation seems like it's kind of in flummox here. It seems as if a lot of people are at each other's throat in the Who Dat Nation when it comes to some of the decisions of the New Orleans Saints coaching staff and the decisions of playing some of their first team starters in the preseason. Is it the right decision? Is it a wrong decision? I mean, I see it from both ways. Shouts out to my guy, John O'Barnes. He had a very interesting take on it. He said that he can see it from both ways on that. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up in just a second because I thought that was interesting. But there are two ways you can look at it. There's one way where you look at the New Orleans Saints, and you look at what's going on in the National Football League, and you say to yourself, man, Ashton Genty just got hurt. They think he tore his ACL, right? He's supposed to be an integral part of what the Raiders are doing, right? Looking at some of these offensive linemen, the offensive lineman for the Chargers, right? He just went out for the season. And we're hearing all these different stories, and people start to get a little bit nervous because they're like, well, what if our quarterback goes out there, he hurts himself, and the next thing you know, our season is just going to all hell. I get all that. But at the same time, I have a take and a stance that a lot of people don't particularly like. And that is when I say, and I say this respectfully, this has nothing to do with me disliking Tyler Shough, having an issue with Tyler Shough, because I don't have an issue with Tyler Shough. But we got to be realistic about this. Like, we have to be realistic about this. Tyler Shough hasn't done anything in the National Football League for him to get the type of treatment. And some of those guys on the New Orleans Saints team that are first team starters have not done enough in the National Football League or proven themselves to a point where they should be sitting on the sideline. Now, there are a few players you can understand if the Saints don't put them out there. But I don't understand. I don't. Like, if we want to talk about the, attrition, I understand that. But from a performance perspective, I don't get it. And I'm going to stand on that. And I'm going to continue to say it. I don't care if Tyler Shough comes out week 1 and he looks good. I do not care. When we're talking about a quarterback who's only had a handful of starts, and we want to throw that 4-2 record up there, okay, that's great. But it's not like the Saints beat a team with a winning record here. They got some momentum down the stretch. They found a nice little cushy spot to thrust Tyler Shough into the lineup to a point where you can actually believe that he is the guy. And all the while, did you have something that you can actually build on? And I'm with you. But if you're telling me that you have quarterbacks like Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Brock Purdy, I can name a few more, when they pop into my mind, but y'all get the idea. When I'm looking at guys who have made a name for themselves in the National Football League, who have established themselves as quarterbacks to a point where for a fact, if something was to happen to them, then the franchise would go to all hell, but they still are out there for a series or two. And I want to make that very clear because people have a tendency of hearing what they want to hear. They have a tendency of knowing that. They misinterpret what you say and they put their own little spin on it. When I say I want to see Tyler Shough playing in preseason, that doesn't mean I want to see him play a whole quarter. That doesn't mean I want to see him play a whole half. I'm talking about a series or two. Even the great Drew Brees played a series or two in preseason. Now, somebody have to explain this to me. A fan of the Saints are going to have to explain this to me. Are you saying that Drew Brees, arguably the greatest quarterback of all time, definitely the greatest New Orleans Saint quarterback and player of all time, if he can play in preseason, we all know if something was to happen to Drew, what this team would look like. We're actually living it right now. So if Drew Brees can go out there with his legendary tail and play a series or two, what makes Tyler Shough any different? I didn't see that. I didn't get that type of energy when Drew Brees was out there. I didn't see it. I never heard anybody say, man, dang, bro, they don't need to put Drew out there. It was a pleasure to watch him play. Nobody had an issue with it. Now all of a sudden, we have to go and put Tyler Shough in bubble wrap behind a reinforced glass until the regular season. And let me just say this. I'm just gonna say this. All right, knocking on wood when I say this. What if you talk about preserving him to week number 1, right? Let's just say for the simple sake of argument, something was to happen in week 1 if he was to get injured. Would it make you feel any better? No. Injuries are going to occur in the National Football League. Ashton Jeanty got hurt in practice today. He wasn't in a game. If you see Ashton Jeanty, I actually watched the game they played against the Houston Texans. I seen him. He had his jersey on, but he didn't have no shoulder pads on. He wasn't going to play in the game. And yet he still found himself injured. How is that, ladies and gentlemen? Because football is a physical sport. There's only so much you can do to try to preserve these players and stop them from being injured. It's a physical game, so you can't stop that. But if you are telling me that it's not worth the first team going in there for a series or two in preseason, I can't agree with that. I cannot agree with that. And like I said, this has nothing to do with Tyler Shough as a player. I feel like the Saints got the right quarterback to be able to lead this new frontier of Saints football, but homie ain't did enough for him to be sitting on the side. I mean, just because he showed up at the Banana Ball game at the Superdome and at a local rodeo and he did a couple pregame huddles, that don't mean that just absolves you from everything else. You still got to play a game. You still got to go out there and perform. You still got to live up to the expectation. And I have not seen it yet. Not to a point where I can just truly say, okay, this guy's the future of the New Orleans Saints. Not from a performance perspective. I can give you my thoughts and feelings and views, but that don't mean anything in the grand scheme of things until we actually see the performance that we seen last year be continued this season. But that's just my thoughts and my feelings about that, okay? But I want to hear from you all. Make sure you put your comments in the chat. We'll direct our attention to the chat for a few minutes during the show, and then I'll open up the phone lines and take a few of your calls, all right? But let me go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and check and see. I wanted to pull up something that Jono said, man. I'm trying to actually look for the tweet here. But in the meantime, if you can hit the like and subscribe button, thank you all for being here. I know it's a little bit late in some areas. Appreciate you all. But let's see. Let's see what Jono said here. I'm trying to see if I can actually pull this up. I actually can't find it. It was a good point that he made, but he was like, I wanted to make sure that I quote him exactly. But I'll get back to it. I'll try to find it later. But I'm gonna go ahead and read some of your comments here, and we'll go ahead and go from there. It says the game was trash, but the Saints played a team that was in the playoffs last year. We got a long way to go. Who that? Look, Reginald. It was a dumpster fire. And you know, I think about that game, and I just think that the Saints were just unprepared, and the lack of urgency that was alarming to me. You know, I'm not so fixated on the performance. Like you guys, second and third string guys out there, that a lot of them don't really have a chance of making the team. I'm not going to go ahead and just pile up on those guys, but I will say some of the things that I've seen, like the lack of execution, the lack of urgency, is almost like dudes already felt like they had a job. It's like they felt like they already were solidified or something. I don't know, man, but it did not feel like those guys actually really put forth the effort that you would like to see, right? Like you know for a fact that your job is on the line. Like there's an opportunity and a chance that you may not even be playing football ever again. That's the reality of this, folks. There are some players that are playing in preseason right now. Once they get cut, they will never play football ever again. And it was almost as if these guys were walking around like they were starters or something. Well, we're on the next week. When I'm looking at that, I got to look at the coaching. And I got to look at the coaching because I'm wondering to myself, what would give those guys that type of energy or lack thereof, that they would go out there and put forth that type of performance? People are telling me about joint practice and all that kind of stuff, but that doesn't absolve you from that type of performance. That doesn't absolve you from going out there putting your best foot forward. That doesn't absolve you from the undisciplined play. It does not. It doesn't. So I think that this is a reflection of the coaching, and it's probably best that they actually seen this right now, that they can go ahead and nip it in the bud. Because not only do you have a sorry performance on film, but you also have a reflection on some of the things that you put in place, and what, and it did not work out for you. So what are we going to do here in order for us to try to change the situation before it's too late? Luckily, you got beat to sleep like that in a game that is an exhibition play. It doesn't count against your win-loss record. It doesn't count against anything that you're actually doing going towards the regular season, other than something that you can reflect on and try to clean up, to try to make your situation and circumstances better during the regular season when you're facing these type of times, these adverse times. Are you going to be able to turn it around? And I've been hearing people talk about Kellen Moore and talking about how passive, he seems to be, and how he's not a rah-rah coach. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I don't. I don't think it has anything to do with a guy not being a rah-rah coach. Like, you don't have to sit up here and be cursing nobody out or throwing stuff against the wall and breaking stuff in order for you to be able to galvanize your troops. It's a thing I like to call respect. It's a thing I like to call respect. If your team respects you, you don't have to yell and scream, because they are going to want to play for you. They're going to want to be held accountable because of the coach that you are, if they respect you. See, that's what people don't understand. So I don't have a problem with Kellen Moore, lack of yelling and screaming and aggressive approach. Like, that might work for some coaches, right? You have some coaches that are tyrants, that that are a-holes, but that's the way that they feel like they need to run their organization. And then you got other coaches that are mild-mannered, don't really yell that much, hold guys accountable, treat their players like adults, and they still win games. Tony Dungy comes to mind. Tony Dungy wasn't a rah-rah coach. If you ever had a conversation with Tony Dungy, mild-mannered, right? I mean, he's he has this level of authority, and he carries himself like that. Like, he demands your attention, but it's not because he's yelling at you. And I don't feel like you have to do that. So for everybody that just feel like somebody got to be yelling and screaming to get their point across, I don't feel that way. But at the same time, you have to make sure that you got your team ready to play. That's where the real question comes in. Why weren't they ready to play? Our backups are trash, bro. That's the thing. Are they really trash? Because you got to think about it. Some of the same guys you seen out there against the Rams were some of the same guys that we were excited about week 1 of preseason versus Jacksonville, right? Like Michael, Hellman. Like, everybody was excited about him, right? He had 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, looking pretty good. You look at his stat line this week, he only had 1 tackle, right? You look at guys like Martin Emerson, had a really good campaign, a really good game, I should say, against Jacksonville, to a point where everybody was discussing, well, if something happened to Quincy Riley, we'll be all right, right? That's what Saints fans were saying. This week, not so much. So what happened between that last week and this week? That is the question. Because the same players hit the field. Same players hit the field. The same players you were excited about, like Ty Chandler, who started the game with a big-time return, setting the Saints up in the red zone. He was the same guy who fumbled in the red zone versus the Rams. You got to ask yourself this question, people. Like, maybe, these players played well last week, but they didn't play well at all this week. Now, I'm gonna just tell you straight up. The Rams are just a better football team than the Saints. Their backups are better than what the Saints have to offer. But the Saints still had opportunities to be able to cash in. 17 points at least could have been scored in a game versus the Rams. if the execution was better. 17 points could have been scored versus the Rams. And we're having a completely different conversation. Now we're talking about the quarterback battle between Spencer Rattler and Zach Wilson. How Spencer Rattler played better this week than Zach Wilson last week. Now we're talking about a quarterback controversy. We are 2 red zone trips away from having that conversation, and that leading up every content creator, reporters that can cover the Saints. That is what they'll be talking about today. That will be the lead on everybody's column. That will be the lead on everybody's podcast. It will be the quarterback competition. But instead, we're here talking about, are the coaches getting the best out of their players during the week? That's crazy. It's crazy how narratives can change. 2 red zone trips. If Ty Chandler doesn't fumble the football and he stumbles into the end zone for a touchdown, or if Spencer Rattler, instead of him staring down the linebacker like he a beautiful woman and he a high school student and is his high school crush, instead of doing that, checking it down to Kendra Miller for a touchdown, we're having a completely different conversation. We're having a completely different conversation, man. So, but here we are. That game was trash, but the Saints played a team that was in the playoffs. I think I already read that. Says, true story at Reginald, and I hope supporters of the team realize that. I'm not exactly sure what you said, Reginald. Says, TJ, I'll keep it 100. This past week for the Saints was completely embarrassing. Yeah, that was bad, man. That was bad. Facts. Everything has to materialize. Yeah, I mean, it has to. And look, when you think about it, as embarrassing as that loss was, what would you want a loss like that to take place? Would you want it to take place in exhibition play, or would you want it to take place during the regular season? Because if we having this conversation in the regular season, it's going to be a completely different type of energy. You actually had that sorry performance on tape. Now you can actually learn from it. When it doesn't really cost you anything. Now, it may cost some of these players an opportunity to make the squad, but it doesn't cost the organization or the coaches their jobs. Performances like this in a regular season, heads got to roll. A sorry performance like this in exhibition play, you can actually fix before it gets really ugly. So I'd rather have this situation happen right now in exhibition play than to actually have it happen during the regular season when that game actually matters and everybody sees that. It's a completely different energy. I agree 100 with TJ. Says it was on Boo Crew Media. Shouts out to Boo Crew Media. Says I'll find it for you, TJ. Says I feel you, TJ. I feel you and Jono both right. Frustrating, both sides of it. Yeah, man. Look, I think I look at it 2 ways, man. I see why the Saints want to preserve Tyler Shough. I'm not naive to that, right? Especially when you look at, the backup quarterback role, like the way that they look at it is kind of sketchy. So I get why. I get why they're doing it, but at the same time, I also have to be real with you, man. Like I can't do it, man. Like people want me to like ignore certain things because I talk Saints and I supposed to like be a supporter of the team and this, that, and the third, but I can't do that, man. Like my energy got to maintain. It got to stay the same. It has got to stay the same. I can't sit up here and just, ignore like certain things that I would be saying if I was talking to a Falcon fan or a Bucs fan if they was dealing with the same situation. So I can't do it. Like I believe he deserves I would say deserves. I feel that the Saints need to have him out there for at least a series or two in one of these preseason games. And I apologize. Like I said, I'm still looking for this tweet. I'm still looking for the tweet. But in the meantime, let me go ahead and open up phone lines. I want to hear from you all. What do you think about the game? What do you think about what transpired on yesterday? Does it have you nervous? Does it have you concerned? Who's to blame for that embarrassment that took place in preseason week number 2? Let a brother know. Let a brother know. Let a brother know what y'all think about that. What y'all think about what happened in preseason game number 2? Who was responsible for it? Who was responsible for the mess, the nonsense, the tomfoolery that took place so far? Who's responsible for that? All right, we're gonna go to it's your boy Chris. Chris, how you doing, man?
Man, after that game, I don't even know what to say. Truly the worst performance you ever seen in the black and gold colors since what? I don't know. What's been a worse game than that? I don't know. When they lost to what the first
Seattle. That Seattle game was pretty embarrassing last year. That was pretty bad. That Seattle game. What about that Green Bay game? Where was that on a Monday night?
Yeah,
they ain't scored no points.
Definitely
Lambeau.
The game where they played the Rams didn't even seem like they got off the doggone plane.
Nah, man. It was pretty bad, man. But do you get any solace in knowing that those were second and third string players out there versus actually being first string guys?
Yes and no, because the way these injuries happening constantly all around the league, that can possibly be your backup. They need to step in and step up. That's just reality.
Yeah, that's the biggest concern to me, Chris. Like, I'm not concerned so much about them losing. I mean, I thought they was gonna lose anyway. Like, the Rams are like a really good football team. Like them or not, I know there's history, especially when it comes to the postseason and all that kind of stuff with the Rams. But that's a really good football team over there. They got a really good front office. They got a really good coach. And we see what they're trying to build over there. But the biggest issue is it's not so much about the loss, it's how they lost. And they had opportunities to put points on the board and they didn't. And a lack of discipline, man.
Pretty much like the same thing we saw last year. A bunch of pre-snap penalties that stifled offensive drives constantly.
Right.
And even worse, the penalties in which is like lineup penalties where it's like 12 men on the field. That's just a lack of this doggone discipline. That's the under coaching. No. Like the pink slips and then key cards to the facilities are already getting canceled, getting made and canceled right now. Now that's consistent. That's just sad. Yeah. On the offense side, then defense side. Let's see. The only thing that really upset me was when we were watching the game, and then people saying Rattler better than Wilson, and Wilson better than Spence. So I'm like, can we stop saying that, because they both black and gold, and right now they both look terrible. So it's like you really got to just root for somebody to take charge and honestly not constantly repeat the same stuff we saw the years before. Because honestly, that's what really was killed us, was the fact of lack of offense production. Defense stayed on the field 24-7, and bend but don't break. And then thank God that was the second team defense, because they definitely was breaking time and time again. So, and then, like I said, sitting in the chair yesterday, I said, might as well make a trifecta, miss the field goal. And he missed the damn field goal.
Yeah, I mean, but I got to say, like, what's the field goal going to do? And
we found out last year.
To me, that was like, man, to me, that was weak. That was weak.
Yeah, going out.
By Kellen Moore. Because it's like, okay, we trying to do moral victories here. Like, okay, we talking about a kicker competition, right? So the Saints plan was to alternate kickers in between kicks, right? So if the Saints were to score a touchdown, Charlie Smith would come out. Then if they score again, then you have Tanner Brown come out. Ain't nobody win no competition like that. So I'm like, okay, it's 4th down. Y'all already getting beat to sleep. Go for it. Like go for it.
Yeah,
like what are you getting out of 3 points? And that's the thing, man. That's it was almost like, bro, it was almost like so everybody was talking about the Saints and the Rams practice and the Saints held their own and all that kind of stuff. And the Saints, they showed that they can actually hang with some of the NFL elite. They can be competitive. I think Sean McVay heard that. And Sean McVay almost played like, you ever like seen like one of them shows or one of them movies where they probably have somebody in a pool hall and they act like they don't know what they're doing really. And they like, okay, man, we can play for $10 and they might let you win or something like that. Be like, man, I feel like I got to get my money back. Can we play for 20? He like,
straight
okay,
horse with you.
Right. And then all of a sudden, like, let's play for 100. And then all of a sudden the jacket coming off, sleeve rolled up. You know what I'm saying?
Plays you like a damn turtle. Man, listen,
that was Sean McVay did. Sean McVay was like, all right, y'all think y'all can hang with us? Went out there with Stetson freaking Bennett. Like Stetson Bennett, like in college at Georgia, okay. In the NFL, that man ain't no NFL starting quarterback nowhere. But the Saints made this dude look like he was certified like a 1st and a 15th check, bro. You can't it's bad, man. It's bad.
That and then I started to think about what you said about the starters, and I'm like, yeah, I agree with, and also agree with John said, because I'm in the middle on that, because again, that's a prime example. Travis Etienne, sure you got paid, bro, but you hadn't even really took live full-on action in front of the fans, in front of the dome, and anybody in the past to show you remember you still the new guy. I mean, you might be in for a vet, but you got stripes. You got to earn. You got to get yours out the mud just like everybody else.
Right. When it comes to Travis Etienne, I'm not really concerned about him. I'm okay. I'm okay with them not playing him because this is a guy who has had multiple 1,000-yard seasons. You're not really seeing too many running backs that are out there on the field like starting running backs. Unless like you're not seeing like the starting running back or the backup running back in a lot of cases. I'm okay with that. He's established to a point where what you see is what you get with Travis Etienne. I'm
saying like all the starters though, because I'm sitting there like last year leading up to now, what have we truly done other than just sit our butts back on the playoff watch long couch for about 3-some plus years?
Yeah.
So
okay, I agree with you on that. If we talking about a series or something like that, I'm like I said, I'm okay with Etienne. I'm okay with Chase Young. I'm okay.
At least down.
I'm okay. But Ruiz, no. David Edwards, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, Pro Bowl caliber, borderline all pro left guard. Okay, I'm cool with that.
I mean, Kevin Knight still looks what a 2-year vet. you just started the game in, but you still got to get your feet wet in the pool, baby. I mean,
yeah. I mean, if he goes out there, more than likely they're gonna send out Calvin. Like they're gonna send Calvin out there because they don't want nobody to hit him, right?
Because
they'll probably send Tally out there or something. But you gotta get some reps, man.
Yeah, you gotta get some reps, there, baby. Because it's like when it's time to play the Detroit Lions, baby. Jameer Gibbs just got paid. Misbelieve he ain't trying to show he didn't get paid for no damn reason for nothing was on that. So it's like instead of you just throwing yourself in the whole 8 feet plus deep pool without even a floater, you might as well at least get your toe wet in just to warm you up before you start swimming.
Right.
So it's like, and I understand you don't want to just throw him out there and then hope somebody get hurt. You already got enough injuries as it is, but you still got to like at least evaluate some game time efficiency. So you just stay warm. You don't gotta you don't gotta be a doggone lava, but you at least just got to stay warm, because if you're coming in cold, especially in the first 4 weeks, you already starting off on a bad foot, baby.
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
I
agree with what you're saying, man. You gotta get these guys some reps. But Chris, I gotta go ahead and let you go, man. I got a few more calls I gotta get to. But thank you for calling in, man. Appreciate it.
Who that?
Who that? Man, shouts out to Chris, man. Hey, we do have some breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. We have breaking news. According to Adam Schefter, there's a trade. The Saints are sending veteran linebacker Deion Jones to the San Francisco 49ers in exchange for running back Zamir White. All right, so running back Zamir White is coming to New Orleans. So that it may look like that maybe the Devin Neal experience may be gone or something. They probably got some news in regards to Devin Neal being, out for some time, man. It's unfortunate. We know that on the first carry, Devin Neal ran a toss play, limped out of bounds, and we didn't see him anymore. So probably re-aggravated a hamstring. And so the New Orleans Saints are soliciting help from Zamir White. So who is Zamir White? Some of you probably don't know. I believe he's from the University of Florida, if I'm not mistaken. He's a guy who played in 45 games total in his career. He has 198 rushes for 736 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was more of a backup running back when Josh Jacobs was with the Raiders. He was more of a backup guy, but he's a big physical running back. He's a guy that is, kind of remind me of that kind of that Mark Ingram type size. He's a little bit bigger. He's 5'11", 227 pounds. So once again, the New Orleans Saints are sending Deion Jones to the San Francisco 49ers in exchange for Zamir White. All right, so Zamir White is coming to New Orleans. That's breaking news right now, according to Adam Schefter. All right, so I don't know what this means for a lot of these guys like Ty Chandler, what this means for Kendre Miller. I don't know, but if you're making trades for guys like this, I would expect for the New Orleans Saints to want to keep them on the roster. So Zamir White is going to be on his roster somewhere. I can't see them, making a trade, for somebody that they just going to cut next week. I don't. That wouldn't make much sense. But we're going to go ahead and move on. We're going to go to Jerry. Jerry, how you doing, man?
What's going on, TJ? Long time, brother.
Yeah, I know, man. Appreciate you for chiming in, Jerry. Always a pleasure to chop it up with you, man.
Yes, sir.
Tough loss yesterday for the Saints. Once again, it's exhibition play, so don't need to panic too much. But just watching that game. I know you say you was at church during that time, playing the drums, but just going back, just going back, listening to the game. Listening to the responses of the Who Dat Nation, and just going back and watching the game. Like, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, first, TJ, when you broke the news about Zamir White, he's from running back from Georgia, not Florida.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Who am I thinking about? Who am I thinking about? What's that running back name? Oh, anyway, go ahead, Jerry.
No, it's cool, TJ. I'll be honest with you, TJ. This all started back last week with these joint practices. Before this game Saturday, Tuesday, the Saints had a joint practice with the Cowboys, and we already know what happened. All hell broke loose. They had a fight. 2 days later, both teams got fined $500,000 from the fight.
Right.
And then Saturday, all you saw was donuts from the Saints on Saturday, because they ain't scored nail point. Zero. Right. They ain't scored nail point. I get it. The Rams, they're like one of the top teams in the NFL, in the NFC. I get that. But the Saints did not show up to SoFi Stadium on Saturday, TJ, with nothing, with no discipline, nothing. And
it was
a good thing. it was a good thing that I was at church playing drums because they were singing glory, glory, hallelujah since I laid my burden down. I mean, it was, bro. When I looked at it, I'm like, thank God.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see. I didn't want to see that embarrassment, bro.
Jerry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was thinking about Damian Pierce. My bad.
Okay,
yeah, but Zamir White.
Okay.
Zamir White went to Georgia. I'm like, man, what was I thinking about? Okay, but anyway, yeah,
cool,
it was
cool.
Damian Pierce who I was thinking about. But go ahead, man.
No, man, no. But after what I saw, TJ, I mean, yes, I get it. It's preseason, but but can I address this to the Who Dat Nation? Be thankful and praise the good Lord above that it was not a regular season game. Because if it was a regular season game, then there's going to be some problems.
Yeah.
So good thing it was a preseason game and not a regular season game during the season.
Right.
So thank God for that.
Yeah, I mean that's the probably the silver lining in this dark cloud. To be honest with you, the fact that that embarrassment happened, on an exhibition play, right? So now you can actually go back and kind of learn from that. Players can learn from it, coaches can learn from it, and like I said, when it comes to the regular season, you can be prepared to a point where it doesn't happen again. So that's the best part.
Yep, I mean, TJ. Remember that segment you did. Remember that little topic you did. I don't know if it was a year or two ago, saying, "Will the real Saints fans please stand up?"
Right.
Remember, I've been telling you had different type of Saints fans. You had some good ones that stay loyal to their team. The other ones that just jump on the bandwagon.
Right.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you look like. It's a repeat of this year, because most of them want most of them want to Kellen Moore fired. Bro, this is his second year as a Saints head coach. Bro, you got to give it some time. You got to trust the process, man. I get it. Yes, it's gonna be some. It's gonna be some good and some bad, but you can't fire the dude just yet.
Man, I was listening. I was listening to WWL, man. Shouts out to my guy Steve Geller and Bobby A. Bear. I was listening to that while I was out this evening. Man, it is so funny, like what a loss can do to like some of these same fans. I mean, they just come up with some of the most off the wall stuff. I mean, one guy, I don't even know this dude's name, but this man said, okay, we ain't got no backup quarterback. We ain't got no starting quarterback. Tyler Shough, he was getting hurt at Louisville. He ain't really do that much. You know what this man's solution was to the problem? He said that the New Orleans Saints need to go after Diego Pavia.
What? Who?
Dead serious. This man said, you can't trust Shough, you can't trust Rattler, but go get Diego Pavia because he got that dog in him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This man was on
TJ, I'm sorry,
a radio station. Thousands of people heard you, bro. I got it was after the game on yesterday. It was on Saturday night.
Yes.
This man called and was serious. Man, they need to go after Diego Pavia, man. Man, the NFL, they don't know what a real dog is, bro. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Bro. He had a good season and all that kind of stuff at Vanderbilt, brought some credibility to them boys from a football perspective. But, dude, there's not a GM, there's not a coach, there's not a human being other than Diego Pavia's family that would choose Diego Pavia over Tyler Shough.
Yes,
I mean, dude must have had like my boy Jules. He must have had some Modelo.
Yes, indeed, man.
Modelo
I don't know where they come up with that from.
And had three of them. They had three glass, three empty bottles in a trash can. Cause ain't nowhere in the world. Dude was dead serious, bro. Ain't no way, Jerry, that comes out of the mouth after a loss, bro.
TJ, ain't no way north, south, east, or west, hell, as my dad would say. that they're gonna bring this man in. We don't even know anything about this quarterback they just talked about.
Man,
I'm sorry.
This man said, this man said Diego Pavia was the solution.
Diego
Like,
Pavia,
dude,
man, come on, bro.
I don't know, man. Hey, bro. Man, I don't know, man. Homeboy sniffing that domino sugar. For real.
TJ, I find it funny. Because when you did your reaction after the game Saturday, I said in the comment section, and I'm sure everybody caught it. It said sometimes you just gotta laugh through the good and through the bad after what we experienced on Saturday, because that's the only way you can get better. That's the only thing to get better, if you just laugh all your troubles away. As they say, laugh all your troubles away.
Man.
Well, because once you learn from what you went through on Saturday to take it to the next game, the final preseason game in Dallas, yeah, they're gonna probably finally wake up, because the next thing you know, the second Sunday in September gonna be here, but way before you know it.
Right.
So now, time is now to get everything lined up before the next 2 weeks.
Is now.
Yes,
absolutely, sir. The time is now, man. There ain't no need to panic. Ain't no need for us to have to pull out the big guns like Diego Pavia. I think the New Orleans Saints
ain't no way. I'm sorry, TJ. Ain't no way.
Man.
No,
bro, ain't no way.
I'm sorry.
Bro, that's football malpractice right there. That's football malpractice. Somebody needs to be fired immediately. I'm telling you, like
right now.
Bro, I was at the combine. I was there. I seen dude out there. I mean, couple nice throws, but nothing to hoop and holler about, bro. Nothing to hoop and holler about.
Ain't nothing to hoop and holler about. Just learn from our good luck. I always say this all the time, TJ. Lord knows we all gonna make mistakes. We all gonna because everybody's not perfect. God knows I'm not. God knows you're not. God knows everybody in the chat are not perfect. We just learn from our mistakes and just move on. And that's how you get things better.
Like I said, there ain't no need to panic or nothing like that.
No need.
I just think that accountability needs to be had when it comes to that performance from a coaching perspective. Other than like, you got to make sure that your players are prepared. I don't care what the heck going on. I don't care how many joint practices you had and all that kind of stuff. If people trying to make it seem like, oh man, like they were just out there just going to war all day, every day, to a point where they were just like physically exhausted. Like, I'm not buying that, man. That's not an excuse for that type of performance. That you got to look at the coaching, and they got to look at themselves to make sure that doesn't happen again in a game that matters the most, like that is instrumental to you actually winning the division, winning games that are meaningful to draft. I mean, positioning when it comes to seeding, and if you're trying to make the playoffs, like you got to be able to get it together, man. But like I said, this was to me, this was a wake up call, and luckily it came in exhibition play. Jerry, you got anything else, man?
No, TJ, that's all I got. Is that just get ready for the final preseason game, and hopefully, some of these players that you see now may not even be on the team, because I think cut day, I believe, is like next Sunday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, man, they got to go ahead and get it done.
Some of these players that you're seeing right now, I mean, hopefully you might see them for the last time before cut day.
Right.
So
yeah, man. Hopefully they put a better showing. Because I can tell you this, even if you're not making a New Orleans Saints team, you still interviewing for 31 other teams. And that's what I want people to understand too. All right. I mean, the lackluster performance could not only cost you an opportunity with the Saints, but also an opportunity to be able to get picked up by somebody else, man. So that was crushing. Like if you're on a bubble and you come through and slide through with that type of performance, man, I'm like, change the channel. Like who else playing, right? Dude, who else we can look at?
Yeah, But TJ, before I get out of here, I just want to make a clear message to every Saints fan out there. Those that are in the chat or wherever they located. Saints fans, stay strong. Don't panic because we're all in this together. We a family. We go if
Right.
we look we win as a family and we lose as a family. But don't let your guard down. Stay
Right.
strong. Don't panic. We're gonna be just fine. No matter what any other fan base out there say, I don't care if it's the Falcons, I don't care if it's the Bucks, I don't care if it's the Panthers, I don't care if it's the Steelers or any other team. We are the strongest fan base in the world. The Who Dat Nation is a strong fan base right now, and forever gonna be that. So don't let your guard down. We're gonna be all right. Trust the process. We got this.
Right.
And
Yeah,
that's
man.
all
Look, I'm not concerned about what the opposition has to say about this. I really don't, man. But I do have some thoughts. I'm gonna save them to Tuesday. But at the end of the day, I mean, it
I
don't change.
know
It doesn't change. It doesn't change my perspective about where I can see this team going.
Yeah,
But
and I was
at
saying
the
who
end of the
that
day,
for like Chris saying, oh, I can hear Falcons. Look, let them talk. Cause they ain't gonna do nothing anyway. Because I came up with a new phrase for the Falcons, TJ. Instead of saying also shout out to Strive and say OG in the chat because he came by, he's in the chat. I told him, I said he told me instead of rise up to fall down, try rise up to sit down because that's exactly what the Atlanta Falcons are going to do. They're going to rise up to sit down. And that's
man,
all I can
look,
say.
they played well against the Colts. I give them that. I watched their whole game because I had to watch these NFC South games because of the round table. I mean, they played well, man, but I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, you still got issues with the most important position on the field. And even though, that definitely gives you some confidence, playing against a team, regardless of who was out there on the field. But I mean, they're gonna have to figure out a lot of things, man, over there. Just like the Saints gonna have to go back to the drawing board after this performance on Saturday. But Jared, thank you, man. Appreciate the call. Call back anytime, man.
We'll do, TJ, and you have a blessed week. Blessings to you and your family, and shouts out to everybody in the chat. Love you guys, and ain't nothing y'all can do about it because love is what love does, and I'm gonna keep it that way.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate the call, Jared. Take it easy.
All right, you too, TJ. Be blessed.
You do the same. Yeah, shouts out to Jerry, man. Shouts out to Jerry. Yeah, man. I mean, look, there ain't no need to panic and resort to, tactics like getting Diego Pavia over Tyler Shough. I mean, whoa, now, come on, now. Let's pump the brakes now, okay? No need to pull out the big guns now. All right, I can't believe that dude actually said that on radio, man, on a regional radio station. I was at a loss for words, bro. I'm like, don't you know your mama can? Man, don't you know, like, bro, thousands of people can hear you make this nonsensical claim? Like, people like get at me about some of the things that I say. But my goodness. That man said Diego Pavia, bro. That man was dead serious. That man said Diego Pavia, bro. Let's go ahead and move on. We're gonna go to Mike. Mike, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. Appreciate you, Mike. Been a while since I heard from you. How everything going?
It's going good, man. Just focusing on school right now. That's why I haven't really been active in the chat as I used to be. But overall, can't can't complain though. How you and your family doing, my man?
Man, everybody doing great my way, man. Speaking of school, Paxton, he just went back to school last week. He in second grade now, man, getting acclimated back to school, and man, just enjoying life, man. It's great to hear from you, man. You know, how long have you been y'all been back in school?
I'm going into my third week come tomorrow. So
Okay. Yeah, they start school kind of late down here in South Carolina, man. So y'all rolling right now, man. But hey, so let's talk about the game. What you thought about the game on yesterday? Are you panicking? Are you concerned about the team? Or what's on your mind, Mike?
look, was the game fun to watch as a Saints fan? No, it was not. But am I panicking? Also, no. Why do I say that? Well, because at the end of the day, Tyler Shough didn't play. Travis Etienne didn't play. Chris Olave didn't play. Devon Valley didn't even play. Juwan Johnson didn't play. Eric McCoy didn't play. Chase Young didn't play. Cam Jordan. None of the guys that you will see week 1 against Detroit were on that field. Now, sure, some of them might be on the field. Some of them might. Like Tanner Brown or Charlie Smith, God knows that we need a kicker. But
hope now. From what I see, they can stay at the house. We don't need that type of energy, man. I mean, look, like Mike, I don't know if you saw this or not, but okay, so Tampa was playing against Kansas City. Harrison Buckman kicked a 69-yard field goal. And meanwhile, the New Orleans Saints got 2 kickers that can't make it from 39. Like, what the heck is going on, bro? Like, seriously. They gotta fix this kicker situation, man. But yeah, go ahead and continue, man. You just put that on my mind. They gotta fix that.
I mean, look, Jerry in the chat, he already knows what I'm about to say. And for those that have known me for a couple years, y'all know what I'm about to say. You ain't got to throw. You ain't got to catch. You ain't got to run. You ain't got to tackle. All you got to do is kick the ball. And if you can't do it, we're going to find somebody who can. And people are going to be like, well, kicking's hard. Like, yeah, for a normal person, kicking the ball might be hard. But for a guy that all you do in practice is practice kicking, that's all you do. You don't practice your throwing arm. You don't practice you don't practice how to tackle. You don't practice how to catch. You barely even practice how to run. All you gotta do, kick the ball through the uprights. It's all you do 7 days a week. All you do on that football field. And you can't do it in the game, man. Yeah. Man, come on. You got guys out here making damn near 70-yard field goals, and you can't make a 39-yard.
Man, it's about that time, Mike. I mean, it's been going on. Like, honestly, there has not been stability at the kicker position since Will Lutz left the team. And, you know, like, people are going to talk about, man, like, it's crazy how people will justify the boneheaded decisions of the Saints organization. It's unbelievable. Like, I'm sitting up here like, man, the Saints should have never got rid of Will Lutz. Even Will Lutz liked the tweet. This man got a job with the Denver Broncos. Even Will Lutz like what I said. This man didn't want to leave. Like, he went through a little bit of a rough patch. It was because he was dealing with a groin injury. He was actually kicking while he was nursing a groin injury. He was fighting through that injury. That's what people don't understand. So the percentage, Mike, that went down, it was because he was out there trying to give it his all for the squad. What is Will Lutz done? Nothing other than be one of the most accurate kickers in the NFL since he left the Saints. I mean, I don't know. You got to get his good opportunity. But, hey, man, the Saints have not found stability since Will Lutz has left, and people still up here trying to justify the nonsense. How many kickers have the Saints had since? What, about 3 or 4? Meanwhile, Will Lutz still in Denver, still kicking field goals in the snow. Like, come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Right.
Man? They got to fix it, though, man. They got to fix this kicking situation.
Right. And, like, look, and a lot of people that I know always be like, man, you too negative. Look, here's the one rule I have. If you play good, I'm going to tell you played good. If you played bad, I'm going to tell you played bad. I'm not going to be one of these fair weather sugarcoat fans that just because they're my team, just because I like the New Orleans Saints, I'm not going to come on here every week and say, oh, even though we lost 34-0, they're still my team, so we're still going 17-0 winning the Super Bowl. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to be honest. If I genuinely feel like the Saints can win this game, I'll say that. Like, I even went into the game yesterday saying we're going to lose this game. I went into saying that. You know why? Because the Rams had stability at the quarterback. Like Stetson Bennett and Ty Simpson, those are two guys that are already – like Ty Simpson, I know he's unproven, but he's a rookie, and he's got more to prove since he was a first-round pick. But on the other hand, you got the Saints, right? Spencer Rattler and Zach Wilson. Now, I will say this. I do feel like Spencer Rattler played a little bit better than what people are failing to recognize yesterday, but I will also say this. You can't throw a pick six inside the red zone. You can't do that. Like I said, I feel like Rattler did play better than what people are failing to recognize yesterday. But you just can't turn the ball over in the red zone. You can't do that. That's what's going to cost you your job. Because when you're driving and you are on the doorstep about to get 7 points, you can't throw 7 points to the other team. You just can't do it. That's not going to fly in the real NFL. And you should know that. This is your third season. You should know that.
I'm going to tell you, Mike, my biggest issue, going back listening to the interview with Spencer Rattler. So they asked him about the changes that he made from week 1 to week 2. Now, we know that week 1 versus Jacksonville wasn't the best performance. And week 2, we seen a better version, which you alluded to. My biggest issue with Spencer Rattler, to me, and this is something that he's going to have a conversation with himself. Look at himself in a mirror. He gonna have to realize that he got to play his game. He got to play the game the way that he feels the game needs to be played. He said it. He said that I felt like I was being a little bit too reserved. I was trying to do, I guess a little bit more than what I feel like I should have done. Right? You gotta play your game. Like people, like for example, Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston will go out there, throw for 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 or 3 interceptions. But guess what? Jameis Winston gonna go out there and play his game. Jameis Winston has been in the league since 2014, playing his game, doing his thing, regardless of people laughing at him, turning the ball over, regardless to how the stats look. He goes out there and stays true to himself. Spencer Rattler has the talent and ability to be a serviceable quarterback in the NFL. But I think a lot of times he allows the white noise around him to stop him from actually playing his game. You got to do your thing, bro, and let the chip fall where they may. Because while you're out here trying to be the quarterback that everybody wants you to be, you're going to end up getting lapped because you ain't stayed true to yourself. That's the main reason. I agree with you. A couple of them throws that he had, if Ronnie Bell would have caught that back shoulder fade, if these guys didn't fumble in the red zone, he ain't throw that pick six. Like, you got to stay true to yourself, man. Because if you're not, you a 5th round pick? They not going to give you an opportunity, bro. They not going to give you the opportunity like they're going to give Zach Wilson. They're going to throw you right out the league, man, because they're going to be like, that's the reason he was a 5th round pick. So he's going to have to figure that thing out, man. Stay true to himself before he be on the outside looking in. You got anything else, Mike?
One last thing. I noticed yesterday, right, when the Saints played the Rams, I want to talk about the defense for a second, okay? Because I haven't really talked about them like I wanted to. This isn't going to be this isn't going to be long, but I just want to address this. The defense that Brandon Staley has, right? A lot of people are now crapping on Brandon Staley for that defensive performance. He was not calling the plays yesterday. So, like, for y'all to just crap on Kellen Moore and Brandon Staley when they're not calling the plays, like, newsflash, Doug Nussmeier, he's not calling the plays on come week one. Brandon Staley is going to take over that defense. Kellen Moore is going to take over that offense. So for people to say Kellen Moore and Brandon Staley need to go off of 2 preseason games, look, the grass is not always greener on the other side. Like, come on now. But that's just what I gotta say about that. Some people are just stupid, man.
Man, look, ain't nobody did anything to be fired, not yet at least. Like let's wait for the season to transpire or something like that. Man, people just acting as if Kellen Moore didn't inherit a absolute mess. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and by the way, I wanted to make sure that this was clear. Terry Joseph, the assistant defensive coordinator, has been calling the plays during preseason. He called the plays last week versus Jacksonville. He called the plays on Saturday versus the Rams. So they're giving these assistant coaches opportunities to call these plays. But yeah, man, but at the end of the day, nobody needs to get fired, man. Nobody needs to get fired because ain't nobody really have done anything. And like I said, Kellen Moore came in to the New Orleans Saints organization. It's been a mess from a cap perspective. This is like the first full year where they not at the mercy of the salary cap. Allow this man to actually build the team that he needs. We see that the talent, they got talent on the team. You got to be able to stomach some of this stuff, man, in order for the Saints to be able to turn this thing around. A decent draft last year. You got your quarterback who you feel like can lead you into the future. This draft, you got him some weapons you can build. You can build offense around. Now you got to get yourself some defensive players, man, some cornerbacks and stuff like that, man. Allow this team to be able to build, man. I know people want to see the playoffs and won't be able to talk noise to the ops, but man, you got to let this thing cook, man. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But Mike, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the call and good luck with school, man, and call back anytime.
All right, yep. God bless you, your wife, and your son, man.
Man, and God bless you and your family as well, man. Good to speak with you, buddy.
All right, see you.
Care, man. Yeah. Man, shouts out to Mike, man. Man, shouts out to Mike. Mike been calling in for a long time, man. It's funny listening to his voice now. His voice done changed and everything, man. So, man, yeah, man, keep up the good work, man, and keep on like doing your thing. And man, the podcasting space gonna be here. Make sure that you're focused on school, man. So in a couple of years, like we can see you, covering the Saints and giving the real deal, right? Being out there on the sidelines and stuff like that. Can't wait to see that, buddy. But let's go ahead and move on, man. Got my frat brother on the line, man. Got my boy Jamie G. G, what's up, man? G, you there? G done fell asleep, man. G done fell asleep, man. Hey, G, you there?
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, I thought like, man, my boy fell asleep.
What's up, man?
Man, what's going on, G? All right, so for those that don't know, man, this is my frat brother, Jackson State University, man, my boy Jamie G. Chiming in. He was actually at the Saints Jaguars game on last week. But G, what's going on, man? How you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm good. Just up here ironing these clothes, man. Getting ready for tomorrow, bro. That's about it. Man,
you ain't pulling out the starch on him.
Yeah, I got the old start. I had to start everything, Got to get my Joe Clark on, bro.
gotta make him stand up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna watch Seattle and Tennessee right now.
Yeah,
but man, I
enjoyed
going to Superdome last Saturday. I had a ball, bro.
Oh
really
man,
did.
Look, I'm glad you did.
Going to the Saints.
I'm glad you did, man. And shouts out to you, man. You was texting me during the game, man. Just tell me about the atmosphere in there. I mean, it's preseason, but what was the atmosphere like, in the Superdome during that game versus Jacksonville?
Okay, now the pregame, I ain't gonna lie, I enjoyed the pregame with the lights, the theatrics, and the fire and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think people was real pumped up.
Right.
To get that game going, I think at the fan base, it was a lot of electric because I had my mama with me.
Okay.
She had to cover her ears because it was kind of loud in there. But yeah, it was some moments where it was kind of loud, and it was some moments it was kind of dead. But definitely toward the end, the last play, bro.
Yeah,
That up to that, the energy was there. So I think the fan base ready for the season.
right. Yeah, I think that's what it is, man. I mean, definitely ready for the season. I mean, you actually there because I mean you've been a long time Jaguar fan. I know you got to be excited about how your squad looking this season, man. I mean, lot of young talent. You got some guys that were hurt last season. They're gonna be coming back to be able to add to the team. I believe Trayvon Walker is gonna be back. You got Travis Hunter out there, man. He seems like he's gonna be controlling, the secondary, being that number one guy. So what do you think about your squad overall, man? I mean, it started off rough, but they were able to come back and win the game.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they was able to run the football and get themselves back into that game, and I think they did well. I like the backup quarterback that we have. Is it? I can't think of that cat name. But
I know he's from
Nick
Kansas
Mullins.
State. Is he from Kansas State, right?
That boy Nick Mullins though. That boy need to
Yeah.
go ahead and sell insurance because it's over with for his guy.
Man, Nick Mullins has been in the league for a long time, man. Was a Southern Miss guy, but so I know that it had to be special for him to be in a Superdome, man. Him being a Southern Miss and stuff. But look, I think that they're primed to have a really solid season, man. Jacksonville kind of was ahead of schedule. I don't think too much were expecting what they saw, but just based on what you saw yesterday, man, I see your thoughts and your feelings about the Saints Rams game. It was embarrassing.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah, we all saw that, man. But what were your thoughts on the game, man? Just analyzing the game and watching that performance, man. What do you pin that on? Like, I mean, you got second and third string guys out there. Are you looking at the coach? You looking at the preparation? What's going on, man?
I don't know. You can't hang. I ain't gonna hang too much on that game. It's still practice. You got it's second, third string guys. But in my opinion, I think the Saints gonna be okay. Like you said, wasn't the first string wasn't out there.
Yeah.
But just some positives. I think number 63 is definitely gonna make that team. I see he's been playing pretty good. I can't think of that guy's name.
Yeah, Hellman. Yeah, I mean, he played good in week 1. Week 2, not so much, man. I mean, you can't have 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks 1 week, and then have 1 tackle the next, and have some reps, man. But I don't know, man. I mean, a little bit of hot and cold mixed bag. He might make the practice squad or something like that, but you got to be able to. You got to continue to stack them days, man. You got to continue to stack them days. You can't take days off. You can't read your press clippings, especially when you are an undrafted guy. I mean, he was talented at Western Michigan, but at the end of the day, it's like, bro, you got to go out there and perform, do your thing, man. Keep the eyes on you consistently. I think that Zach Wilson dropped the ball, and I think that Hellman dropped the ball as well, man. Like, they were the talk and the toast of the town last week. But they couldn't build on that momentum. Let me ask you this. All right, so Trevor Lawrence, I don't believe has played at any time in preseason, correct?
Right.
Do you have an issue with that? With Trevor Lawrence not taking any first team reps? Because I think you've been listening. Like, my stance is, I feel like Tyler Shough should get at least a series or 2 in preseason. Just to get prepared, because we're talking about practice, right? Practice, that's cool and all, and you can get those reps in, but we're talking about the defense not hitting you. You don't really have to account, for the play clock. I mean, if the play clock runs out, you can just go back and run a play, versus being in a game and it's a delay of game. It's costing you with penalties that can actually hurt you in a real live game. So what are your thoughts? Like, do you blame Lynn Cohen for not putting Trevor Lawrence out there? Or am I looking at it like from a different perspective? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I thought he would at least been in for the Panthers game, at least for a few series, because I see even Cam Ward, and now he was in for a few series with Tennessee, just to get himself going.
Right.
In order to, to get himself going and get back used to the speed of the game and everything. But
Yeah.
hopefully he'll be in this next preseason game whenever he playing, because hey, he definitely gonna need it.
Yeah. I mean, I just look, I don't think you have to look when we talking about Trevor Lawrence here. Okay. Trevor Lawrence is he's a really good quarterback. He has led the Jaguars to division titles. They have been to the postseason a couple of times. He's established to a point. Okay, if they don't play him, I can kind of understand it. But when we're talking about a guy going into the second season, like Cam Ward, who was the first overall pick, if Robert Saleh feels that the need of actually having him out there, and they have unanswered questions offensively too, but they're putting him out there to play. And if Cam Ward was to take a hit and go down, it would cost the Tennessee Titans that season, because he's the guy that they are hanging on to lead them to success in the AFC South. So I just think that one series is not going to hurt anybody,
Right.
especially when we're talking about young guys who are still trying to prove themselves. G, you got anything else, man?
Only thing I got left next weekend with Southern and Alabama State. You know, Alabama State is a not 21-point favorite over Southern. Do you take the over or the under?
I'm taking the under, man. I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean,
Yeah,
look,
I don't think so either.
no, man, no, I don't think so, man. I'm actually looking for. I mean, I think we all are. I think we all looking forward to seeing what Marshall can do at Southern University, man. Can he help these guys get back to their winning ways? Except when they play Jackson State, I could care less. But we're talking about Alabama State, who is established. I mean, Eddie Robinson has done a really good job with that team. He has really got those guys, looking respectable and credible. But man, Southern, we all know, like Southern has like these little spurts. Like they'll look like trash for about a year or two. Then they'll find like a quarterback and some players that can actually get them out of that. Then the next thing you know, like they trying to get a SWAC championship, man. So I think that Marshall is going to be able to get those guys going. I think it's going to be interesting in the SWAC. Looking forward to seeing what Jackson State can do this season. I mean, we know about the athletic director Ashley Robinson not being there anymore.
Right.
I'm very disappointed in that, by the way. I understand, money talks, BS walks. But I'm looking forward to seeing what the Tigers are going to do this season and seeing what Marshall Faulk can do, trying to bring Southern back to legitimacy, because those rivalries used to mean something. I mean, when we were there, G, I mean, those rivalries, man. I mean, them games were nip tuck. You didn't know which way they were going to go. Just watching Southern just get beat to sleep like that, it just don't hit no more, man. It just ain't hit like it used to. So hopefully they can get back. So hopefully they can get back to actually being in a conversation, man, where we can actually really talk some noise and it just don't sound pathetic from Southern fans at this point.
Right. What do you think about Jackson State being a 19.5 point favorite against Tennessee State? Do you take the over under with that?
Oh, man, I'm gonna honestly take the over, man. I like what Coach Taylor is doing at Jackson State. He always has some really talented players. They like, despite the limitations of Jackson State at this time, he always is really good at recruiting. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what these youngsters can do out there, man. I mean, they came close to getting back to that HBCU national championship game, man. Kind of fell short. But at the end of the day, I believe in Jackson State, man. I think that they'll be able to handle up on Tennessee State, man. I think they'll be able to handle business, and I'm just glad to see that's back in action, man. Jackson State, Tennessee State, man. Those rides to Memphis back in the day, man. Those were some good times, man. It's good to see Jackson State playing against Tennessee State again.
Yep.
But I appreciate it, G, man. Look. And make sure, like, man, give your shout out, I mean, on your Twitter and stuff like that. Look, if you're into like SWAC football, if you're into just swag news, man, make sure y'all follow my boy G, man. G, let them know how they can get in touch with you, man.
Yeah, you can follow me on YouTube. I'm about to get back into that seriously. With No Slack and the Swag podcast on YouTube. You can catch us sometimes on Sundays on Swag Talk channel on YouTube. Swag Smoke on Sundays, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 7:30 Eastern. Hey, y'all come on over there and see what we talking about, see what we putting down, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Make sure y'all support No Slack and the Swag and the other swag channels out there, man. And make sure that y'all follow G, man, because I mean, look, a lot of swag fans out here, man, and a lot of swag in the chat here, man. I mean, a lot of people, graduates of Grambling State University, Southern, Jackson State, support those HBCUs, man. So G, looking forward to it, man. I'm definitely gonna be keeping a lookout, staying abreast to HBCU news and swag football, and I know where to go, man. Appreciate it, G.
All right, appreciate you. Have a good one.
All right, you too, man. Out. Yeah, shouts out to my frat brother Jamie G, man. Repping out with the Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated, man. Been hanging tough, man, since what, 2006, man. 20-year friendship right there, man. 20 years we've been friends, man. Unbelievable, man. Time flies, man. But when you got good people, you know what I'm saying, it just seems like yesterday, man. Shouts out to my boy G. We're gonna go ahead and end the call with Robin. Robin, what's going on, man? Thank you for the wait.
Hey, how you doing today, TJ?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, Robin, for chiming in. Really do appreciate that. And what's on your mind?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not panicking about the Saints. I've been a Saints fan for a good time now. From high school.
Yeah.
I got into it because of my dad. And to be honest, one of my biggest reasons, I'm one of the more of the youngsters in it, but one of the big reasons was because of Drew Brees. I kind of started watching him at the tail end of his career.
Okay.
But anyway, the main concern I have is I'm just scared of complacency. And I just feel like that's why the Saints have been where they've been at for the last few years, is because of complacency. There's just so many little things that just slip through the cracks. There's so many little things that I just feel like there's no accountability, and there's a lot of complacency. And that's just one of the concerning things. There's different types of leadership styles, and Kellen Moore may not be the John Gruden type who will yell at you or tell you, he's not going to be out there yelling at Shough or Radler. In my personal opinion, sometimes I feel like I wish we had a guy out there to kind of be like, Radler, come on, let's get it going. But I don't think Moore is ever going to be that type of guy.
No.
But I really think what this game speaks to me is just a lot of complacency. I mean, what could they have possibly been doing to just allow this to happen? In my opinion, I think preseason or not, I think this is just unacceptable. They let a lot slip through to allow this type of score to happen on television like this. This was embarrassing. And when I was watching the game, it felt like it was more of a Rams podcast than a football game. I mean, it was just nothing but Rams commentators just having a podcast and just casually talking about stuff like, oh yeah, and we just picked off the Saints. Oh yeah, we just fumbled, and the Saints just fumbled.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we watching?
Yep.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah. It was garbage time, man. They call that they just call that the yellow news, man. Like little fluff, like just filler. Like that's what it was, man. And I seen the same thing. And Robin, when it comes to like preseason, when we're talking about home teams, they got the local broadcast, right? So they're going to be extremely biased towards the home team. But at the same time, you want them to kind of stay in tune with what's going on. It's like they was like, okay, man, our team rolling over the Saints, and like sooner or later it's gonna be over. It was bad, man. It was bad,
sure.
man. It was like a varsity going up against a Pop Warner team. I ain't gonna even say JV, because some JVs could give varsity a run for their money. I can't even say that. Like it was bad, man. I agree with you.
Well,
Definitely
another thing that concerns me about this preseason game is how do we evaluate this properly? A lot of people, there's two different stories you can go with. There's, okay, the coaching was terrible, or hey, the players just played bad. So which road do you go down? Or is it a bit of both? I mean, obviously, thank God. Now, if Kellen Moore and, Brandon Staley were calling the plays, I would be very, very scared.
Yeah.
But knowing that they didn't, that is kind of a good thing. And obviously, we didn't have our starters, which I disagree with. I'm on the same boat. I feel like Shough and the ones should have ran it. But, I don't know. I don't know why Kellen did it because, I mean, when Sean Payton was here, I mean, I swore I saw Drew Brees and the starters play at least week 1 or week 2 of preseason, but
Yep.
I
I agree.
digress.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway, I mean, those are the two things. I mean, the thing that I'm like disappointed about, Zach Wilson, he was the number 2 overall pick, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, in the 2021 draft.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Got selected by the Jets. I mean, look, come on, man. Like, you've been in the league for how many years? And it feels like he still hasn't picked up on this. He was a backup to Aaron Rodgers. I mean, and he's throwing ridiculous picks like this. And I don't know, I couldn't tell, but it seems like in the game, it was either just terrible and accurate passes that were way too low, or I couldn't tell if they're batted down at the line several times, or they were just missing these guys. I mean, did you see that?
Yeah, well, especially when Spencer Rattler. Yeah, I seen a couple batted passes on it. I agree with what you like. There's a few things that you said. I want to go ahead and kind of backtrack a little bit. I want to answer your first question when you was talking about like what was it? Like was it the players? Was it the coaching? I think when we look at the lack of execution, when we're talking about 12 penalties for 96 yards, you got to look at coaching, man. Coaching is the main like problem here, right? When we're talking about penalties and undisciplined play, what would give Jeremiah Wright the right or the feeling to feel that he can give somebody a little something extra after a play without?
I saw that. That was ridiculous.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no accountability. Charlie Smith has shanked field goals left and right, but we're gonna bring him back out here again because we believe in Charlie. Like, man, I agree with what you were saying, Robin. I miss those interviews, those press conferences with Sean Payton when he would just berate the entire team and the lack of execution. And he will always say, well, we got to get it right. We got to clean it up, or we got to find some people that can. He will say that in press conferences. And sometimes you got, look, that's Sean Payton. Now we can make an argument about why the New Orleans Saints organization has seen that a coach like that, who is meticulous and a tyrant, has shown that it works in New Orleans, and why they would just take like a complete 360 turn and go with Dennis Allen one year, and then when he get fired, basically get the same type of guy with the same type of disposition. I don't know.
Yeah.
But also, like, when it comes to the quarterback play, Zach Wilson, he is what he is, bro. He is what he is. Like, you already mentioned it. You say he backed up Aaron Rodgers. If arguably one of the best quarterbacks of his generation can't help you, Sean Payton even signed him to the team. We know what Sean Payton has done with guys like Jameis Winston and Teddy Bridgewater. We have seen what he has done with them. For him to say, I'd rather go with Jarrett Stidham, what does that say?
That says a lot.
Exactly. So what are we actually doing here? I don't know, man. The Saints really have an issue. As much as I like Spencer Rattler, I ain't got no problem with Zach Wilson. As much as we want to avoid this situation, the Saints have an issue if something was to happen to Tyler Shough. And that's one of the main reasons why I think, like, people laughed at me, but I think they need to go get like a backup quarterback, somebody like a Flacco, Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, you may not like Jimmy G like that, but Jimmy G has shown that he can actually execute a game plan, win some games. Like, if something was to happen to Tyler Shough, at least if he have to be out for 3 or 4 games, I believe Jimmy Garoppolo can execute an offense for 4 weeks. When it comes to the offense with Zach Wilson, Spencer Rattler, the erratic play in preseason, I can't trust that. Can't trust that, Robin. Can't trust it, man.
I mean, and look, there's something to be said too. I mean, one thing that I like to do as a fan, and I know a lot of people as fans, is I think you're one of these fans, TJ, where you can look at your opponent and say, "Hey, I think they do this well," or I think they're better than the Saints in this aspect. I think sometimes, and I think it's like I said, I agree with you on some of your points with it's too early to tell with Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
We don't know if he's necessarily a good or a bad head coach yet. It's too early to tell.
Right.
Sometimes I wish Kellen Moore had a Bruce Arians coaching style. I really liked Bruce Arians as a head coach when he was with the Bucks because, he did a lot of controversial things, but one of the things he did was, when Tom Brady was with the Bucks, if Tom Brady threw a pick, Bruce Arians said, "Yep, that's Tom's fault." Just straight up. Like no
Right.
BS, nothing like that. And it could piss your quarterback off, but at least that's accountability. And sometimes I wish Kellen had that. Like, if these guys screw up, what's wrong with saying, "Hey, Spencer's got to be better on that." Yeah, we got to coach them up, make these boys run some laps if they screw up. Jeremiah Wright, that's unacceptable. Somebody's got to grab him by the helmet and tell him, like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. Like,
I mean,
I agree. Because I said it at the beginning of the show, Robin. If players respect you, you don't have to yell and scream. They're gonna want to do well for you, right? And if they don't, then you got to be able to call them out. I think at this stage, he is trying to just win the trust and the belief of his players, and that's fine. But at the same time, there's a line that needs to be drawn, right? There should be a line in the sand. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt as long as you're out here doing what you need to do. But the moment I don't see it, you need to trust me enough to know that this isn't personal, right? I'm trying to teach you these things because, number one, if you do it in a game, Jeremiah, it's gonna get us beat. It's a 15-yard penalty. That was a first down. Bud Means caught that first down, right? He caught that pass for a first down. Chains were moving, but now all of a sudden we got to back up because of the undisciplined play from you. That's selfish. So you got to be able to call that. So if you're being selfish, I should, as a coach, be able to tell you you're being selfish, and you should be able to accept that. The question is, why is that not happening? I don't understand that. I don't know. But I can tell you this. He's gonna have to figure some of these things out. He doesn't have to be a tyrant. He doesn't have to be a jerk. But you have to let players know that the buck stops with you. And right now, I'm not sure about that with Kellen Moore. I'm not.
I just, like I said, I mean, I'm not. I think it's too early to tell. I just hope that there's not some sort of complacency because I think as Saints fan, we've seen a lot of complacency, whether it's from the front office, the organization as a whole. I mean, we dealt with Dennis Allen for the last few years where it's like, it'll be fine. We'll work it out. We're the Saints. And I think that's kind of been the whole storyline is like, we're just so arrogant. We think we can do what we want. And then when things don't work out, we're sitting here crying like, man, what the heck happened? It's on us.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to hold these people accountable, whether you're the GM, the coach, whoever it is. And that's been, I think it's just nothing but speaks of arrogance these last few years. But hopefully, Kellen can finally get some things going. I'm hoping they at least start the ones against the Cowboys next week, because if they don't, I'm really concerned.
Yeah. I'm going to say this, and I said this before on the last show. If they don't start the ones or give Tyler Shough any preseason reps, they better come out the gate smoking. I ain't trying to hear, oh, man, they played Detroit. Oh, man, Detroit, they a playoff team. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that at all, because when you have a guy sitting on the sidelines not playing them in preseason, you basically saying, we good. Like, we know we about to get this season from him. So I hope you're right. Like, from your lips, the guys is, or whatever we just interpreted. But they got to hit the ground running. If the offense looks stale, stagnant coming out the gate, that needs to be addressed. It needs to be because you have basically said, without saying, that you trust this first team to a point where you think they are going to hit the ground running immediately, to a point where I ain't even got to put them out there. I already know what they're about to do. So if you feel that way, fine. But my question is, what teams who have missed the playoff for 5 seasons, who have not won a division in 5 seasons. What teams actually move like the New Orleans Saints have moved this preseason process? I don't know too many, man. I don't know too many. Robin, you got anything else, man?
I mean, no, I don't. I mean, they gotta stop treating Tyler Shough like he's Aaron Rodgers, where he thinks he can just not play preseason. I'm not saying Tyler Shough thinks that, but let's chill out with that.
Yeah,
They
it's
better
not.
run him next week.
No. Right.
Uh,
Yeah, it's not on Tyler. Like if you gave Tyler Chuck a choice, Tyler, we want you to play. He gonna play. This is a front office, or I would say, well, it probably is the front office coaching decisions also that they have come to this conclusion. I just don't agree with it. I don't. Like we're watching Cam Ward, who was the #1 overall pick for the Tennessee Titans last season. He has played in a total of 2 preseason games. And they have a lot of unanswered questions offensively too. So I don't get it. I just think that those reps matter, man. I just think those reps matter. In real live games, it matters. Getting pressure in your face, legit pressure in your face, a play clock, situational football. You got to be able to execute, man. So if they're not hitting the ground running, I think the Who Dat Nation needs to sound off, and I think the organization needs to hear. Regardless of how the season may turn around, that's not the energy you want. Because in my opinion, you're setting yourself back by not going out here doing everything that you can to have you ready for week 1. Robin, thank you so much for the call, man.
Yes, sir. Thank
call
you.
back anytime.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, take care. That was a good call right there, man. Shouts out to Robin. Shouts out to him, man. That was a good stuff right there. But yeah, man, if they don't hit the ground running, I just think that Saints fans need to hold them accountable for that. I mean, what y'all think about that? I mean, that's my whole point. It has nothing to do with Tyler Shough. I have no problem with Tyler Shough at all. And this has nothing to do with Tyler Shough because, like I said, I know he would play if he was given opportunity to do so. But just, putting him behind glass, break glass when the regular season starts, like that's not the move. Every football fan know this team is unripped and inexperienced players to backup starters. Yeah, I mean, look, they have a lot of inexperienced players. So with that, you need to be able to put your inexperienced team in situations to gain what? Experience. You have to put your inexperienced team in situations that they can gain experience. I've never seen anybody gain experience from being in it, like not being put in experiences, right? If you're inexperienced, you got to be thrust into experiences in order for you to gain knowledge to be able to become more knowledgeable of the situation. You're sitting over there just being inexperienced and not taking, not taking any type of reps, not doing anything to try to build up your capacity. It's not conducive. And look, like I said, in practice, y'all can talk about practice all day and night, but practice is not the same as a game. People are like, man, they had joint practices. Them joint practices, man, them joint practices, bro. Nobody is trying to tackle or sack Tyler Shough in no practice. Nobody is trying to do that. Nobody is trying to take nobody's head off. I don't care if you ran 90 reps, 100 reps, 120 reps. Don't matter. It's not the same as an actual football game. You're gaining experience out there. Definitely sending prayers up. What's going on? Hold on. What's going on? TJ, sorry I missed you. Missed the last couple of streams. I'm in New Orleans. Just buried my baby brother yesterday. Oh man. Oh, King Arthur, man. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I am sorry to hear that. Man, my prayers go out to you and your family, man, on your loss, man. Yeah, prayers up to you, man. Prayers up to our guy King Arthur, man. Yeah, we praying for you, man. Like, man, we gonna be here. We gonna be here, man, for you, man. Whenever you get opportunity, man, come on back, man. But in the meantime, we gonna be keeping you and your family in our thoughts and prayers, man. The New Orleans Saints are not expected to play their regular starters in the final preseason game against the Dallas Cowboys. Well, as long as they hit the ground running, man, I just want to see good execution, and I just think that's what Saints fans should expect. Yeah, man. Prayers go out to King Arthur, man, and his family. Prayers go out to you, man. Appreciate y'all for that, man. Y'all make sure y'all send prayers to King Arthur, man. King Arthur, man, like y'all already know, man. If you've been here on the State of Saints podcast, it's not just a podcast with just a bunch of Saints fans, man. Over the course of time, over nearly 10 years, right, man? We've been doing this for a hot minute, like so 9 seasons, 8 years we've been doing this, and man, we developed a family over here on this channel. A lot of people that you see in the chat, if you just stumble across there, like they've been here for a long time. Like if you're new to this channel, that's why like I tell people, like, you know, when it comes to this podcast, man, it's just not a bunch of, you know, just Saints fans up in here, man. We have gained friendships, family, relationships. There are so many people that tell me all the time, man, like they be talking, you know, off stream with people that they met inside of the community here. And I take a lot of pride in that, man, that people have gained friendships, relationships, brotherhood, sisterhoods over here, man. So yeah, man, you know, so y'all send prayers up for our brother over here, man, King Arthur. Thank you for your time, TJ. Appreciate you talking with you. Robin, no problem, man. Appreciate you for chiming in, man. It's always a pleasure to hear from members of the Who Dat Nation and people that are kind enough to give me their thoughts here on the stream. So I appreciate you, man. Show isn't anything without the people that make it what it is. I'll tell y'all that today, tomorrow, and I'm gonna continue to say it. Prayers up for you and your family, King Arthur. Yeah, man. Shouts out to Brent. Says we need to bring in more kickers. Abso-freaking-lutely. I mean, when you got 2 kickers that can't hit the back of a barn door, yeah, you probably want to get that fixed, all right? Yeah, you probably want to get that fixed. But thank you all so much for being a part of this stream here on the State of Saints podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, I mean, this show is basically just kind of dedicated to the Who Dat Nation, man. People just wanted to chime in and just wanted to open up the phone lines here on this stream just to give people like, you know, a platform to be able to express themselves, man. And, man, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. I know the Who Dat Nation is kind of divided when it comes to some of the decisions. A lot of people, you know, may not agree with what I'm saying. But, look, I respect everybody's opinions and thoughts and views on how they feel about the situation. We can agree to disagree. But, you know, at the end of the day, we all bleed black and gold. We all support the team. We all want the Saints to win and be put in a position to win. All right. So always keep that in mind. We'll be back all through the week. We're going to have a Sleeper Saints podcast episode on tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe to the Sleeper Saints podcast channel. Thank you to everybody that has subscribed. We have reached 500 subscribers on that channel, and we're continuing to grow. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Sleeper Saints. All you have to do is type in Sleeper Saints on YouTube. All right. You can follow me on X at TJAY Jones 8. If you want to interact with me or reach out to me on social media. Got some things in the works. Trying to get with Dr. Jesse Morris to come back on the show for those that have been here on the State of Saints podcast. He is a sports medicine physician. Has given us so much information throughout the years on some of the injuries that have you know, plagued the team and injuries to certain players to give us clarity on that. So we're gonna try to work out a time where Dr. Morris can actually come back, give us a little bit of clarity on some of the injuries to guys like Jordan Tyson and Alvin Kamara and what that could actually mean for them throughout the season. So make sure y'all be on the lookout for that notification coming soon. And also NFC South Roundtable every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on YouTube. So make sure y'all check that out. Me alongside my guys, Clay James, Trey, and B Rich. They are representatives of the teams in the NFC South, along with myself representing the Saints, breaking down NFC South football. We have a good time over there. We have a lot of fun. So if you're into a little bit of trash talk, but also information pertaining to NFC South, make sure that you subscribe and join the movement over there. All right. Till next time, all I got to say is,
TJ. Yeah. Straight up. Let's go. Welcome to Straight Up TJ. Tap in, sit back, press replay. We're locked in with the Saints on a weekday. Now we talk every sport, every big play. Years on the grind, now we level up the view. From the dome to the world, get a better look at you. No script, just truth when we break it down. Barbershop talk, but we broadcast it loud. Welcome to Straight Up TJ. Straight up. Fresh takes every time a beat play. This ain't your everyday sports cliche. We talk real talk now, what the streets say. Welcome to Straight Up TJ. New wave every week, let it replay. From the Saints to the whole game each day. You tapped in with the truth. Straight Up TJ. Real time talk, yeah, you know that it's live. From the draft to the deals, how the stars really thrive. From the court to the field to the big stage. We gon' cover every angle like a back page. No cap, no spin, just a clear take. If it's weak, we gon' say, let the fear break. From the city that believe when the odds stack, TJ got the whole sports world in the group chat. Straight Up TJ. Straight up. Fresh takes every time a beat play. This ain't your everyday sports cliche. We talk real talk now, what the streets say. Welcome to Straight Up TJ. New wave every week, let it replay. From the Saints to the whole game each day. You tapped in with the truth. Straight Up TJ. TJ Jones, turn it up, let it ride. Straight Up TJ. We on your side. New chapter, same grind, same name. Hit play, pull up, join the game.